Hi, I'm Jessica.
And I'm Kevin, and we're Interstate Explorers.
In today's video, we're going to review a new backup camera.
We're really excited for this. It's the Haloview Backup Camera with touchscreen, and we're gonna install it, we're gonna unbox it, and we're gonna give an honest review about how this thing works. Make sure that you stick around for the end of the video where we compare it to the popular Furrion backup camera. So let's get into it. Now, if you're new to RVing or you're new to towing, what a backup camera is, it's a camera that you put on the back of your rig, and basically it functions a lot like a rear view mirror. Now, this particular trailer that we have right now, the Brinkley 3100, that did come with the backup camera, but we haven't had a lot of luck with that so far.
We have a GMC truck. With our truck, there's actually a known wiring issue that has issues with connecting with the backup camera, and we even bought an adapter to try to fix that, but it didn't work. So we're hoping that this new backup camera we're going to install will be able to solve that.
Let's go ahead and unbox this thing. Yes. So this is the box that it came in from the warehouse or wherever it came from. As we open it up, here is the camera itself. That's the box that it comes in. I'll kind of turn this around so you can see basically everything. On the back side, this is all of the specs and the details, and we'll make sure to put this in the description so that you can really get an in-depth look at this and kind of see what's going on here. Over here there's a bag, looks like some wires and some mounting equipment, and we'll open this up and look at the manual and figure out all this stuff. And then there's a smaller box inside here. I'll put that one aside. And this box has looks like some more mounting equipment, and this looks like the cigarette outlet, so this is going to be definitely the power source for the screen. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into this box right now. See if I can take this plastic off. All right. Looks like there's maybe some, just some more plastic. All right, so let's open this up, and inside, here's our user manual for the camera, user manual for the touchscreen. Looks like some wipes, which I'm assuming are for mounting. Styrofoam. And let's see what we have here. We'll start with this, which is the camera itself. And one thing about this camera is that it does work with the Furrion system. So for any of you that have installed a Furrion camera, you'll probably notice this. So I'm assuming this connector, once we take our Furrion off, we'll just go ahead and plug it in, screw it on, and it should work just like the Furrion camera does. And then here's the camera itself. All right, over here, this looks like a mounting device for your windshield. This is going to be for the screen. And inside of here, let's see what we have going on here. This looks like another type of mounting device. This looks maybe more like a permanent mounting device because it's got the sticky on that side. And looks like some screws. This will be for this camera, the screws. Got some more things in this box. This is gonna obviously be the touch screen. This is going to go in the car, and so this is how you can see behind you. So this is a nice quality touchscreen. It feels better than the Furrion already, but yeah, this is pretty solid. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, and there's a lot more things here. These are the antenna and a bunch of wires. So we'll figure out what all this stuff is going to go to. I'm assuming some of this is going to be power source stuff. This is like another cigarette outlet. So I guess we have two of them. And we'll take all those wires out and some more mounting equipment. So we'll read the instruction manual and we'll see exactly what all those things are for. All right, so that's what we have in that box. We'll check out this bag and then we'll get into the install of this. All right, inside this bag, some more wipes. Looks like some type of mounting equipment here. And then this is a large, big wire. So we'll find out what we need to do with that, and a big antenna. So that's what it is. That's what we have here. And let's go ahead and get this thing all set up and installed, and we'll see how it works. Okay, so when I was unboxing everything, there was like a lot of wires. It was a little bit overwhelming. And so I went in the instruction manual, which is right here. It's pretty small. It's only 21 pages and it's pretty easy to get through. This has most of the stuff that you're gonna need for the screen and for like the wiring of stuff. And then there's also which is the user manual, and this talks more about the camera. But I went through these and was able to figure out what all of this stuff is. So I wanted to walk you through some of it, and then we're gonna set a couple things up. So first thing, this is the camera. And if you have a Furrion system, I actually misspoke because this is not the same adapter. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this adapter, and then this is just gonna plug into this side. And like you twist it to lock it in place, and then this is actually going to go on the Furrion input. So that's how that's going to work. And then you'll take your screws and you'll screw it in there. So that's what we're going to use because we've got the Furrion system. If you don't have the Furrion system, it comes with this wiring system. These are the antenna, and it comes with 3 of them. This antenna, you're just going to screw on the side of the camera like this, and now this should hopefully help the signal out. Now, our rig is 35 feet, so in the event that this is not strong enough, just because from the distance, there is this long wire right here. And what this wire does is that you would unscrew the antenna, you're gonna screw that part in here, and then basically what's gonna happen is that this wire is gonna go on the top of your trailer. You're gonna mount this 3M sticky right at like the roof of the trailer, right where your truck is or your tow vehicle, and you're gonna mount another antenna on there. And what this is gonna do is this is gonna reduce the distance from the camera and the screen so that your signal should be stronger and more clear and more consistent. So we're gonna see if we need that or not. Here's the 2 antenna that go on the screen, so we'll just go ahead and plug those in. Here's the other antenna. And there are several different ways to mount this. There is the permanent option. This is a 3M sticky. We're not going to use this. There's this option, and basically what you do is you loosen right there. This kind of clicks in like that, and then you tighten, and there you have it right there. And then this is a suction that just goes on your window. Just a couple more things here. They include 2 power outlets. So this is a USB power outlet, and you'll just plug the USB-C right there, just a USB outlet. So if you don't want to use a cigarette outlet, and I mean most cars these days come with the USB, so that is pretty cool. And then the other option, of course, is that if you just wanted to do the cigarette outlet, you have that option as well. And this gets plugged in down below right there, and that's your cigarette outlet. So just wanted to make it a little bit more clear with everybody, because I was a little bit confused initially about what all these wires were, but after just a little bit of reading, I figured it all out, and hopefully that's helpful. So now we're gonna do the install, so let's get into it. Okay, so we're gonna do the installation, and I'm just gonna voice this over because this was a little bit tricky. So first thing that you have to do is that if you have a Furrion shell, you got to take that shell off and the camera, so the whole thing has got to go. So just unscrew it, and then there's the Furrion wire, and then you plug in the Haloview to the Furrion wire. Now this is probably the trickiest part of the installation here, and as you'll see in this video, there's just going to be a lot of me fussing with the wires because that is a pretty long wire and the 2 connection points are stiff. So it's hard to tuck the thing behind the camera because there's just not that much space there. You need to have the wires completely tucked because then when you screw the thing to your rig, you can't have any of the exposed wires out there because it just won't be tight. So I fussed with this thing for quite a while. And eventually, I'm able to kind of tuck it into the right spot, but it was really tricky, this part. Okay, so now I've got the wires tucked, and I'm just hand tightening the screws just to make sure that the camera itself stays in place. And then once I had the screws hand tightened, I got the screwdriver out and screwed and got everything nice and tight. I mean, overall, even though this is a sped up video, this probably took maybe 10 minutes or so to do, so really not too big of a deal. Doesn't require anything fancy besides a screwdriver. And like I said, the hardest part was just getting those wires to work. The install was a success, and we wanted to try out the screen and see how that worked. And as I said before, one of the cool things is that you can USB it. So we've just got a USB thing that we use with our phone. And so we're gonna plug it in, and let's just kind of see what we have here. So there's our screen, and it looks like no signal. Oh, there it is. And there's behind the rig right now. So already this is really good quality image. It, you know, like this looks like an iPad or something, you know, like with like high resolution, looks really clear. And as you can see, you just plug it in, it's already paired. So we're excited to put this in the truck and to put this thing to use. So next time you see us, we'll be in the truck. Let's do it. All right, so we're towing now, we're on the road, and we're giving a proper test run of the monitor and the backup camera. So far, everything has worked pretty much straight out of the box. We set the monitor up, we plugged it in, it instantly paired with the camera, and everything just worked. So that part's good because unlike the Furion and our GMC issues, there's been no issues with this. Now, just a couple things to note is that when we initially plugged the thing in and we were pulling out of our campsite, there is a fairly sensitive microphone on the camera that goes to the speaker on this monitor. And then also when we plugged it in straight out of box, the picture wasn't inverted. So like a car tried to pass me on the left, but then it appeared that they were legally passing me on the right. So I had to make sure that I adjusted that. So it is in fact like a rear view mirror if that's the setting that you like. Otherwise, the picture quality is good, the resolution is good. One more thing I do want to say is that when you wear sunglasses, it's a little hard to see that, and I actually have to take my sunglasses off in order to see that. But otherwise, it works, I'm happy with it, and it's easy, so no complaints. Okay, and another cool feature that the Haloview monitor has is that it's got this fairly simple mounting system that actually goes over your rear view mirror. So like as you see right here, it's just connected on there. To install this was actually fairly simple. What this is held up by is, and let's see if I can pull this off, is these like rubber parts here. And you just kind of strap them around the back, and then it just kind of, by being tight, attaches itself to there. So fits in any rear view mirror. Might be something you're interested in. We'll put the link in the description. And the last thing I wanted to show people was the touchscreen and some of the features that this thing has. So as you can see, we're parked at our campsite. If I just tap the touchscreen, it's got the different channels. So if you have like different cameras, then that would be how you would toggle in between those. This is, of course, channel 4. And then you can press Q mode, which is going to show all the channels. So we'll just go back here. And then let's go ahead and take a look at some of the menu options. So there's some of the menus. You can adjust the volume. So if you want to mute it, you can go ahead and mute it. I would recommend probably driving with this because it does get kind of noisy. So we'll go ahead and turn that off. Press this to go back. This is the pairing if you need to pair it. Okay, here's the picture. You can adjust your brightness, your contrast, your color, and the LED. Let's see, here is the mirror, and this is if you want it to kind of look like a rear view mirror. This is the option that you're gonna want right there. All right, moving on. We have the Q mode, which has just got all the different types of camera setups that you would want should you have a different kind of camera, or multiple cameras, I should say. All right, here are your settings, and we have the cam trigger. We have just like some color settings. A couple more things. The scan. This is to pair them, and then here's the park line. So if you want that on, you know, if you're backing up, that might be helpful should you need it. And this is kind of cool too. There's a record feature, and then there's a play feature. So should something happen and you have to record, that would be how you do it. All right, and that's the video on the backup camera. All in all, it's a very solid camera, and I mean, it does everything that we want it to. Like, it's got a very clear image, it doesn't lag too much, it works with the GMC, so that's a plus. Got no complaints, and I'm looking forward to using it for all of our future drives.
Yeah, and I actually found it helpful just now. We just backed into a tight spot in our campsite, and I was able to talk to Kevin using the backup camera, and I didn't have to shout, or, I was able to, he could see me on the camera, and I could just use a normal voice and giving him backup direction. So I really enjoyed using that feature for the camera.
Now, as promised, we said that we were going to talk about this camera versus the Furrion camera. The Halo camera, it's got a better resolution, the screen is better, and it's cheaper. Other than that, the install's pretty similar to the Furrion, especially since it's got like the same like wiring system at the Furrion. I'd say kind of the big con of it is just there's that extra wire, so it just takes a little bit longer to get it in there. But the installation's easy, the monitor's better, so yeah, I definitely recommend this camera, especially since it's cheaper over the Furrion. Okay, well, thank you for watching. That's our video. If you're interested in this camera, you can check out the link in description. And until next time, keep exploring.